You are listening to one of the most prolific podcasts. I'm Caleb.
It's your boy DT.
And I'm Ken.
We are the Mind Report.
Here to push your mind and change your thoughts.
Yo, what's going on? It is good to be back in the building. It's good to be around this high vibration. For you guys who don't know me, my name is Caleb.
I'm Ken.
And I'm DT.
And we are the Mind Report. We're just here to show our gratitude like we do every episode. So I just want to just express my gratitude and just show thanks to everyone. We have a huge announcement. We just reached 750 downloads. So we just very, very appreciate y'all.
1K on the way.
1K on the way. And it's in arm's reach. It's in very arm's reach. So we just appreciate you guys. So DT, I want to ask you, what's going to be the topic for today?
We're going to be talking about something that I know a lot of people do. A lot of people make excuses. You either make excuses or you make dollars, but you cannot make both. And I think with this being kind of like we're in the third or fourth quarter of the year, so it's time to actually go hard. Halftime is over with, y'all. We need to actually get into the game and start switching up that end on the scoreboard. So if you want to do some great things, it's time to play a little bit more harder. And the things that we need to stop doing right now is making excuses. And when you make excuses, you pretty much cutting out what you could be succeeding in this year in 2022. So we're going to break down a lot of things in this episode. And I think it's going to be a lot that's really going to be shared. So it's going to be like a 2-part thing. So just stay tuned. But the first thing that's on the agenda is fearing the unknown. And a lot of people have a problem with uncertainty. And when it comes to this, you having a fear of something that you don't know what's the end result of. And it's okay. Sometimes you don't need to know how it's going to play out. Mm-hmm. You just need to go through the process, because if you go through the process, then how it plays out in your favor anyway, no matter if it's good, bad, ugly, how they say cute, whatever it is. The whole process plays out in your favor, but you just need to get away from fearing the unknown. It's called the unknown because you do not know what's going to go on. Just like with your future, you don't know what's going to go on, but you have a vision of how you want your future to go. Even if you start on something new, just let's say a business venture, you know the end result that you want from this business, but you don't know how everything gonna play out for you. So quit stressing over what you don't know and do what you know that you need to be doing.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to fearing the unknown, it's like you assuming what's going to happen. And everybody know what comes with assuming. Everybody done heard the saying, assuming makes an ass out of yourself. When it comes to taking steps out on faith, you're supposed to be willing to do that. Like, you're supposed to be willing to go through experiences, because in the end, experiences like mold you into being a better version of yourself. And if it doesn't, then it's something that you already knew. But if it's something that you could learn from, it's something that you previously didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So any type of knowledge is always good knowledge, especially if I could use it when it comes to my elevation. So when it comes to fearing the unknown, I feel like the unknown kind of should give everybody like the extra push they need, because you should be willing to go through certain experiences in order to make yourself be a better version of you.
It's kind of crazy you said experience. So experience build you up, but stagnation tear you down.
Right.
And if it's something that's uncertain, it should give you the adrenaline to push forward so you can see exactly what's going to go on, versus you basically hindering your own success by just standing in the same spot. What you should be fearing is standing in the same spot that you just was in 5 years ago, or even last year.
Right.
Because opportunity always knock, but are you actually there to answer the door?
Yeah, what I say about the fear of the unknown, you really got to take action, because you being there, you being in that same position that you were, you don't know where you're going to go. Okay. And that's the scary part, you know. But when you're in motion, when you're moving towards your goals or moving, you know, towards anything that you have your mind set on, I mean, it may be unknown at that particular time, but as time keep going by, as you keep pushing towards your goals, it'll become more clear to you. It'll become more clear, and it won't be unknown, because now you exactly know where you're going. You got the tools and materials, and you have the mindset to get there where you need to go.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, another thing that's on the agenda when it comes to excuses is, another excuse people make is, I don't have the money. I hear that all the time. I would say, like, when it comes to that, because I used to be the same person, like, I'll wait till I get the X amount of dollars in the bank to do this. It just prolongs, like, your process. You get what I'm saying? I don't now. I just if it's nothing that's gonna make me broke, like take everything out of me, I just do it. Cause at the end of the day, the money gonna get spent, whether it's on something good or bad. The money gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So the way I look at it is, I always spend $1,000. I always spend $500 if it comes to bettering me. If it's something positive, if it's a risk I got to take to possibly grow and get me in a better position next year or next week or next month, then I'm going to always do that.
And I feel like that's a big excuse to a lot of people because before they start anything, they always look at the money aspect of it.
Right.
And with me, I don't have no limit when it comes to myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a care if I go to a personal development conference and it costs me $10,000. Okay, I know it's going to better me in the end.
Right.
So why would I not invest that money into myself? I invest my money into a whole bunch of stuff that really don't matter to me. Because every day you go out the house, you spend the money on things that you really don't need. And it don't benefit you at the end of the day. So when you had that type of mindset, you had to snap yourself back and say, okay, is this going to actually play a part in my growth as a person?
Right.
If it does, if that answer is yes, it should be like smooth. Yeah. Like I don't even have to think about this because I know where the money going. But if the answer is no, now you have to jump back and kind of reassess it. Like, am I really in dire need of this? If I'm not, then I really just don't need to be spending my money on it. And in a business venture, you don't need money to start a business. I'm going to say that loud for the people in the back. You do not need money to start a business. It's so many ways that you can start a business with a little bit of nothing. It's just by you using your voice, you being real vocal, and the environment that you're around. Because the more that you have around you, guess what? The more resources that you have. Right. And people do real estate every day without a dime in their pocket. They become multimillionaires. Right. People start Shopify stores without any money. So it doesn't take the simple fact that you need money to get to the next level of success. You just need an idea. And once you have an idea, now you can move off of that idea and get yourself somewhere else. But I tell everybody that's listening to this right now, always invest in yourself. Don't invest in meaningless things because at the end of the day, you got a purpose. Right. So if you got a purpose, that means you have a meaning to the things that you do, and investing in yourself is the main thing that you need to be doing to get you to the next level in 2022, going into 2023, because we is in the third quarter. But if you is listening to this podcast right now, I highly advise everybody to share this with somebody so it can get to somebody else. And if you love them people, just like you say you love them people, show love to them people by sharing this podcast with them, because we stream it everywhere that you can possibly find us. And we only ask y'all to do two things: to rate and review us so it can get out to more people, and then more people can get it out to more people. So we're gonna jump right back into this.
Yep. But I mean, the answer that the refer back to the top of that was just said, you know, where I personally think about people's just referring to money in any situation. Sometimes it can just be the mindset that they have, like, it can really just hold you back for real, because you can say, oh, I'm going to wait until, you know, I'm out of school. I'm going to wait until the kid's out of school. I'm going to wait until I save up enough money. But sometimes, how long could that take? Right. You know, it can take 20 years. It can take 10 years. And then you could have already been well ahead if you just would have took that action. So, I mean, you got to invest in yourself. Like, people... You have to invest in yourself when something that's going to benefit you in the long run. You just really got to just change up your mindset when you're looking at it, because like DT said, you don't need money to start a business. You don't need money. You just need resources. You just need to get out there.
I think a lot of people be moving off the scarcity mindset. So the scarcity mindset is I don't have enough, right, or I cannot get this done. But if you move from the abundance mindset, that's basically like you saying that I have more than enough to get whatever I need to be done. And a lot of people need to move away from that scarcity mindset, because we put here for abundance. Now, if you want to keep bumping your head against what you don't have, guess what you're going to have? Nothing. Yeah. So we need to get you to something.
Right. But I mean, and that's true though. And that's like, when you think about it, it's another form of doubt in a way. Because it's like, I want to do this, but I don't have the money to. So it's like you're doubting yourself. It's like you're tarnishing your own dreams or your own goals just because you don't have something that you need to get it started.
Ooh, people need to listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Right,
Because
for real.
in the book, he was saying his poor dad will always say, I don't have enough money for that. And then even if his rich dad says something and he didn't have the money for it, he like, how can I figure out how to get money for this?
Right.
See, it's two different languages. You talking the poor language and you talking the rich language. The rich language is figuring out how can I
Exactly.
get more of this to obtain whatever it is that I just said I want. But if you talking poor, guess what? You have life or death in your tongue. So if you keep talking bad on the situation, you're going to have bad that come from the situation. But if you keep talking good on it, you're going to have abundance that come from it. So watch the words that you're saying. And once you say, how can I figure out a way to get this? It's like you hitting a switch in your head. And then now, guess what? The resources start coming about to the point where you get exactly what it is that you say you want versus you saying you don't have it.
And I think the thing about Rich Dad, Poor Dad too is it's not just about money, but it's also like it teaches you real life things. Like from the example you gave, what I took from that was you see the problem and you figuring out the solution. I feel like in life, a lot of people just like see the problem.
And just settle for the problem.
Exactly.
Right.
And they don't come up with ways to get from around the problem, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
solutions, they just start there. And another thing that's important, like to add on to what y'all said, is resources. Like people gotta understand it's so many ways to get resources out. Like if you got Wi-Fi, it's no reason for you not to have some type
Hell,
of
if you got a cell phone.
at this point.
we in the point of digital entrepreneurship.
Right.
We always did presentations on
Right,
this.
right.
It's digital entrepreneurship.
Right.
You don't even have to have a physical store right now.
Yeah.
All you need is Wi-Fi
And a product.
in a product.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And with the product, guess what? You was put here to solve problems.
Yeah.
Everything that you had ever wanted to do in this world is already here, but you just got to figure out the problem to solve. And once you figure out the problem to solve, guess what? People going to buy into the solution. And once they buy into the solution, guess what? Bam. You done made it.
There go your ticket.
You
Right.
you done made it. That was a gem right there.
Yeah.
I suggest you to pause this, play that back, just so you can get that message.
Right.
How the dude said on that move, message.
This man crazy.
Go ahead.
Another excuse that we must avoid is saying I don't have any contacts to start with.
He good with this.
I say that's falsely. That's not true. That's not true because with people, when you start a new business, word of mouth is a thing. Word of mouth is a thing. You got to put in field work. Anything you want, anything that you're advertising, you marketing, you have to put it out there so people can see that. And then once people see that you're willing to actually sell your product or do whatever you got to do, people are going to come around.
Right.
People are going to come around regardless because now, and it's a consistency too. When you're consistent, whatever you're doing, people going to say, dang, this dude grinding. All right, I'm gonna check him out. I'm going to check his products out. I'm going to see what he got going on. But it's all about the energy that you carry out. If you feel like, if you have a set a goal like, hey, I want to reach out to 10,000 people. All right, how can I reach out to 10,000 people? I write it down. I go to stores. I post on Instagram, post on
I
Facebook.
say social media.
Social media. Social media you can reach out to so many people out on social media.
You just said his first word, social.
Yes.
Yeah. Social. That's the word. Social. Social media. You can reach out to so many people that's not even in the state or the city that you in. And
Honestly, I have more people on my social media than I do on my contacts in my phone.
that's what I'm saying. But there's two things. I kind of like how you said that. The two C's, consistency will gain you contacts. No matter what you do, if you showing people that you consistent, over time, guess what? They'll want to do business with you.
Yeah.
Because the simple fact is they know you about the business and they're attracted to somebody who's a go-getter.
Right.
If you're not a go-getter, then guess what? People not going to want to do business with you because they know you're not standing behind your word.
Exactly.
You have to stand behind your word with consistency, no matter if the result may look kind of stormy, good, bad, ugly, however you want to look. But if you can stay consistent over time, you'll gain contact.
Even if they see you build too. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you were just a new entrepreneur in the beginning and then you stay consistent over time and you start to grow and you start to build, people are going to want to do business with you because they say this guy's consistent. This guy knows what he's doing. He's actually growing as a company or whatever he got going on. He's growing and we see that. And so, you know what? I want to do business with them. I'm gonna hit them up. You're gonna get somebody who's gonna be interested in whatever you're doing. That's just facts. That's law.
People knows it.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
in
hell.
social media.
What?
They just try to see if you still consistent.
Right.
And I was having a conversation with my wife and I was telling her like no matter what you do, if you can see the vision and not see what's physically here right now, you gonna always win because that's gonna keep you going. Right. So if anybody follow me on social media, you can see the consistency that I have. And I've been doing this for a 2-year run and I don't really care about the results of right now. I already know what's gonna be the end result. So I tell people, if you do something, run with your head down and give it your 100. I say 200%. I ain't gonna say 100% because sometimes I guarantee you gonna fall to a point you be like, man, people just ain't messing with me like that. But are you messing with you like that? That's the only thing that matter. If you mess with you like that, you can look in the mirror and tell yourself that you can keep yourself going. And then, like we just talking about resources, if you can keep yourself going and people see that, the contact's gonna come.
Yeah.
So don't never find yourself saying, I don't have contacts when it comes to business. As long as you have a voice and you can use your voice, contact's gonna come.
And especially if you show that you're coachable and teachable, because it could be somebody else that's 10 years in the game or whatever you're trying to do. And now they see, okay, I got this young guy that's teachable and coachable. Let me mentor him. Let me feed him with some energy or tell him some things that I wish I would have known before I even started the business or got myself into whatever I'm trying to do. So once you get out there and you so consistent, you show that you're serious, you're gonna attract people regardless. You're gonna attract people that are trying to help you or attract people that are trying to do business with you.
It's like when you show consistency, you spark interest. Cause it's like on social media, I see so many people doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like record labels, I see so many motherfuckers rapping. I see so many people singing. I see so many people. But it's like when you constantly doing it and the motherfucker constantly seeing your name, it's like they have no choice but to like fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like consistency get you a long way. And to add what y'all said, like when you show that you coachable and teachable and you actually get out and you network with people, that shit takes you a long way. I don't care if you have no contacts. When you network with people, like sometimes I done had conversations with people, it's like I would have never thought that, you know what I'm saying, this person actually had knowledge on whatever the subject was.
Right.
But it's like, for instance, we was on the way to, I think, LA, but we was on the plane. And it was this guy sat next to me. And so I don't know how we got on this topic of real estate, but we got on that topic. So he was giving me so many pointers on like when it comes to having tenants, when it comes to like doing your leases, when it comes to Airbnbs. It was like so many pointers this man was giving me. And it was just like, damn, like it's early in the morning, 5 o'clock. Like what if I would have got on this plane and just went to sleep? Mm-hmm. But just opening your mouth and actually connecting and being genuine with people, that shit gets you a long ass way.
Definitely does.
You missed the key word that he said. You got to be genuine. You got a real deal be interested and not interesting.
Right.
So if you interested in, you know, what somebody got going on, then sure you're gonna ask questions. Then guess what? Now you done basically just gained another contact that can help you. Cause you might was thinking about jumping into real estate and then guess how everything just lined up. Right. Cause who to say you could have been sitting next to somebody who didn't even have no knowledge or nothing and was just wanted to take their flight. But this man opened himself up because he felt your energy. Right. And we are all energy. And the energy that you project, guess what? You receive more resources to help you get to the next level. Right. So now he know more than what he knew before he even got on the flight. From a contact.
Right.
That he opened his mouth on.
A random one at that.
A random contact. So open your mouth. Please open your mouth. And one of the biggest things that I hear a lot of people say is, I'm not smart enough. We always talk about self-talk. I don't think people really understand how powerful it is for you to talk positive to yourself. Because, you're going to run into some situations where some days you just feel down or you just ain't saying the best things to yourself. Right. But you have to be able to look at yourself and have confidence in the person who you becoming, because every day you becoming somebody else, whether you want to say it or not. And I love being around people. They say, oh, DT, you change. Yeah, I have to change. In order to get to the level of success that I want, you can't stay the same person that you was back then if you want more.
Exactly.
So, which means you have to get out of your environment in order to receive more. But if you keep saying this to yourself, what kind of environment are you really around? Because you can't be the smartest one in the group. If you're the smartest one in the group, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this. Find another group. If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. Simple as that. So don't find yourself saying, I'm not smart enough, because you are more than capable. You have greatness inside of you, and you just need to unleash whatever it is. But you have to start taking that negative self-talk out and start putting a little bit more positive into it.
Right. It to me, it's like a boundary that you have on yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I never tell myself I'm not smart enough because I'm only attract ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I never
Right.
tell myself I'm not enough because I'm gonna attract less than what I need to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate the act what DT say. I hate when people say you change. You don't know me. You don't know where I came from to gauge me. You know what I'm saying? You can't say I done changed because you don't know where I started at. In life, y'all gotta people have to understand, in life you're never supposed to stay the same. And so like when people tell you that, that's just, in my opinion, it's just a way of people to manipulate you into feeling bad for changing, so you could revert back to the person that you was to make them feel comfortable.
Right.
But if I'm with a group of broke people and I come up and I see that you not coming up with me and you not on that type of time, like DT said, if I can't change you, I gotta change being around you. You get what I'm saying? You not finna make me feel bad for changing. I did that to better myself. I offered you the opportunity, you wasn't with it. So
Right.
I had to do what I had to do. And I just feel like when people, it's like, it be little shit that people do and say to try to manipulate you and play with your head.
They intimidate.
Yeah, trying to make you
Exactly.
feel, yeah.
But see, I love haters, and I'm gonna break this down for y'all. Y'all gonna say this a bar. So haters.
Uh-oh. Pay
There
attention,
you go.
y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention.
She giving us a warning this time.
Having anger towards everyone reaching success. So having anger towards everyone reaching success. That's what a hater is. And they free promoters. So you can say I changed, but then why you saying that? Because you the same?
Yeah.
So keep promoting me.
Right.
I thank you for that.
One guy told me that a dude I work with say, you done changed. I looked at him and turned my head, looked at his ass like he was stupid and kept going. Cause bro, you about damn near triple my age and you don't understand that that's what it takes. Like your ass, you
Nah,
you
seriously,
fucked up
for
in
real.
life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
he missed the memo.
yeah. Looked at his ass and walked the fuck out. Like, bro, come on now, you gotta tighten this shit up.
I mean, you're supposed to change. People really do have to watch. Like, you can really be your own enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. The secret is within the feeling. You know, if you start to tell yourself that you can't do something or you're not smart enough, then whatever you try to attempt to do, you're going to feel bad because you already told yourself that you can't do it or you're not smart enough to do it. You already set that limitations on yourself. So whatever you attempt to do it, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do it because the feeling, your feeling is off. But see, when you talk good about yourself, you start to build confidence. And anything that you attempt to do, you're going to do it at 100% because you know you're going to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? You don't doubt yourself. You know the end result of it. So you really, like, people really can be their own enemy when it comes to their words. And you really, really have to watch your words. Those words are nothing but cuss words because they set limitations upon what you can and cannot do.
Right.
And words are curses.
That's it.
So if you say something damaging towards you, guess what? You just put that curse on yourself. Whether you say you can or you can't, somebody right. And you right because you said it.
Right.
So everyone has greatness in them. It's just up to you by how great can you actually do.
It's
That's
all up to you.
all what it come down to.
Yeah. It's all up to you. It's all up to you whether or not you're going to accept it or you're going to decline it. It's all up to you. Just like
a phone call.
I was just about to say, well, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I already knew he was looking at his phone. He said, it's all up to you. Look, I ain't mean to bogart you.
Oh, nah, you all good, man.
I was being Debo right there. My bad. Hey, it was both I thought. My bad.
Hey, but two great minds always think alike, though. So
Yeah.
ain't no pressure, man.
But I know another excuse people have is the excuse of I can't talk. Like, this shit hit home for me because this was the excuse I always had because, like, anybody tell you, like, when you first, I'm like the most introverted extrovert ever. You get what I'm saying? Like, when you first meet me, you would think I'm just a person of no words. Like, I can't talk at all. But once you break that barrier to me and I'm comfortable around you, like, I'm like the most outgoing person ever. But that's something I had to break myself out of. And it's like, I had to learn to tap into feeling people out. You get what I'm saying? Like, without just sitting back and watching them, but actually feeling them out by having conversations with them, actually see where their heads at, like picking their brains. Because, like, you never know, like I was saying earlier about the example with the man on the plane, you never know who you can be around at a specific time.
That's true.
Until you open your mouth and start talking. You could be sitting next to a multimillionaire and not know it unless you open your mouth and have that conversation with them. You get what I'm saying? And
That's
a lot
true.
of times when you open your mouth and talk, like you never know what you can gain from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you never know what type of game a person can put you on, like how much more they can expand your brain. Like it's always about being coachable and teachable and actually getting out there holding conversations with people.
Right.
I used to say that when we was doing network marketing, we was actually getting up there like, man, I can't talk. Talk. Because when I talk to especially people in Florida, they always say, man, you so country. And I was like, okay, I understand that, but then I had to come to realization and get more confidence in myself to say, I'm going to be me regardless.
Right.
Whether you like it or you don't like it. When I found myself being a little bit more me than me trying to get up here and sound professional, guess what? I started receiving a little bit more from people, and it was more positive than negative.
Right.
People like, oh man, I can really relate to you. And that's how I see it. You should always be yourself no matter what.
Always.
Take that excuse out your head saying that you can't talk because God gave you a voice to talk. So you have to be the trendsetter for your generation. Because a lot of people who I might talk to and you might talk to, you might reach them before I do just because of the simple fact is how you talking.
Right.
So that's just like and I look at all the greats. So it's like with Les Brown, and I know I'm gonna be one of the top motivational speakers. I'm already speaking it, so you're hearing it right now from 2022.
Yeah. Mark this date.
Yeah, mark it. 2022. Whenever this episode drop, you already hearing it. But I look at Les Brown, and I look at Les Brown like, okay, he good, but I'm great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at you, but I'm already saying it might be some people who you can't reach that I can reach.
Right.
E.T., it might be some people who he can reach that I can't reach.
Right.
Right.
But at the same time, I might can reach more people than these people. So don't ever hinder yourself from greatness because everybody got a voice to talk and everybody got a story to tell. So get out there, tell your story, and just be great.
And to add on to that, like when you are yourself authentically and genuinely, more people come towards you anyway, like you said.
Yeah.
Like with me, I like to cuss, I like to talk my shit. And
That's Ken.
if you watch my stories on Instagram, you will see just what I'm talking about. And that's just me. I'm not changed. I'm not trying to be professional. I'm not trying to be proper. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to get to a certain point in life where it's like, okay, like you got to stop this acting and shit and actually be yourself. You get what I'm saying? And so I much rather be myself from the beginning. So when I'm myself, when I get to that level, it ain't shocking to most people.
Yeah, like we already know how Ken rock.
Exactly.
If you don't want it the hard way, don't even go over there.
Look, if you don't want to get cussed out, don't
even
come.
go over there.
That boy transparent as hell. But I'm gonna touch back what Ken was saying. You never know what you can learn from someone unless you open your mouth, and that is very much true. Like I had my own
Closed mouth don't get fed.
That is another true statement. Closed mouth do not get fed. But I mean, like what you were saying earlier is that, you know, sometimes you have to be social. You know, you have to network with people. And I'm the type of person where if I see that, you know, okay, this person may have something that I want. So I'm gonna ask them, like, how do you do it? You know, what steps do you take? Or when you was my age, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? I want to know all the information. I'm never the type of person to hate. Like I'm gonna ask you questions. Right? If I feel like you have more than me, I'm gonna ask you, like, how do you do it? What you did? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of people sometimes they don't want to talk because of the pride. You know, they feel like, okay, well, this guy, he has more than me. He ain't gonna tell me everything. He don't want me to possibly see me do better than him.
But that's self-talk.
Yeah.
You talking yourself out of opportunity.
Exactly. Right. And so that's why you have to switch the mindset when it comes to that. Really just understand that, okay, this person may have more than me. And you got to accept that. And there's no pride to it because, you know, some people aren't born with a silver spoon. Some people don't got it like that. So, but when you ask yourself like, okay, you know, I gotta talk. I just feel like you talking to someone isn't a dumb thing. You talking to someone isn't a pride thing. You're being open and you're willing to seek information. Because like DT said, a closed mouth don't get fed. And if you want more, you got to speak up. You know what I'm saying? If you hungry, you're going to speak. You're not going to just sit there and suffer. And I feel like in life, when you want more, you got to get out there and you got to speak. You got to get out there and talk. You got to get out there and seek information so that you can utilize the information to get yourself in a better place. But if you don't talk, you're just gonna be at a standstill. You're gonna be in the same position that you were currently, and you're still going to be at the same position, you have to talk. You have to be open. You have to be open-minded and willing to seek others' advice to get out of your current situation that you're in.
I'm gonna say, to add to what Caleb said, I got two things. Like, you should never let your pride get in the way. Like, for me, I understand that I'm not gonna be like my mom used to always tell me, no matter how bad you think you are, it's always somebody out there that's better than you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? No matter how much you think you got, it's always somebody out there that has more than you. When it comes to networking and talking to people, I can't let my pride get in the way, because it's for a better version of me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I love myself, so anything to put me in a better position, I'ma do.
At
You
all
get what I'm
costs.
saying? So it's like, I can't let the pride stop me from elevating. If I see that John Doe got more than me, I'm finna, like Caleb said, go to that side and see, like, hey, bro, what you did? Like, I'm trying to do such and such, and I can't get, you know what I'm saying? Like, put me on to something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, too, like, in life, you gotta always have an elevating mindset, no matter if you was born in the hood, or if you was born to the richest family in your city. You get what I'm saying? You always have to have a mindset to where it's always about elevation. You get what I'm saying? I don't care if you was born with a silver spoon, because at the end of the day, like, once you get a certain age, you gotta understand that nobody's gonna be out there for you but you. You get what I'm saying? Like, the person who was feeding you from that silver spoon, at some day they're gonna pass. Right. So it's like, you gotta be able to put yourself in a position so when that time do come, you able to pick up the baton and keep the race going.
Amen.
You get what I'm saying? Like, never just depend on your parents, never depend on whoever it is that gave you that silver spoon, because at the end of the day, you got to keep the shit going.
Right.
And no question is a dumb question. If you thinking that if it's somebody that on a higher stature than you or have a higher status than you, then ask that question, because that one question could be your breakthrough. Then with breakthrough, it come breakdown. So in order for you to break down anything, you need to ask good questions. And like I said, no question is a dumb question, but just keep asking questions. Always be open to more, but don't never close yourself off by what you thinking a person won't answer or whatever the case might be. This right here is one of the biggest ones to me, is I don't have time.
Oh man, here we go.
And I say this is one of the biggest ones because you have time for what you make time for. Mm-hmm. So if you waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get in traffic just to go to a job, guess what? You just made time for that. And if your spouse wants you to do something or you don't do it, guess what? You just basically just told yourself, I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, you always make time for the things that you really want to make time for. So you need to start making more time for your future rather than your present situation. So once you go to work from that 8 to 5, that 5 to 9 should be your grind time. You should be working on something on the side to get you a little bit further than what you are right now. But if you not, then guess what? You're just going to be stuck in that 9 to 5. And I'm not down in jobs. So if you listen to this right now, I'm not down in jobs because you need some type of income to help you with your side income. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that, but you don't need to be just putting all your energy into that, because if you do, you'll find yourself exactly where you at. And this happens so much, it's like a cycle. Right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, we'll even say 40 years from that, you'll find yourself stuck in this same place. Yep. But you have to be able to take time out to actually work on something that's going to benefit you versus hinder you.
Right.
And see, the thing I hate with people that make that excuse of not having time is they tend to be jealous and hate on the people that made time for what they wanted. You get what I'm saying? It's like a lack of accountability. But like DT said, like, you make time for what you want to make time for. That goes for relationships. That goes for life. That goes for anything. If you want it bad enough, you going to make time for it. See, the question I like to ask myself is not what I want to have in life, but what am I willing to struggle to have in life? You get what I'm saying? What am I willing to dedicate my time and energy to have in life? Because a lot of times people say they want X, Y, Z, but they ain't really willing to give it the time that it needs to actually like manifest in their life. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that I don't have time, it's like a classic excuse.
Yeah.
But,
you have time.
Right, you got time. But
you
it's
got plenty of time, 24 hours in a day.
You just had time to make that dumbass statement. You know what I'm saying?
Whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, how I feel about it, if you have time to work 40 hours a week, I personally feel like you have time to yourself.
Right.
And working a 9 to 5, I'm not knocking it, but at the end of the day, I'm still spending at least 1 to 3 hours doing what I need to do to better myself, to get myself out of that 9 to 5.
Right.
I just don't want to settle because, you know, these jobs are designed for you to work all day and go home tired so you can do the same bullshit again and again and again. And then when you keep doing it, you do it again. And then those months turn into years. And then you look back to me, that's a whole damn decade that you just wasted your time, so much energy, so much time with a job, and you haven't put any time towards yourself. So you really have to invest in yourself with your time and with your energy, because you don't want to stay in that situation forever. You don't want to stay working for someone forever. You don't want to stay just putting your goals to the side and not having anything getting closer to your goals. So some people don't have their goals in sight because they say they don't have time for it. I mean, you, like you just say, you make time for whatever you want. Like, if I want something, I'm going to make time for it, regardless if I work 100 hours a week, I'm still going to make time for something. With you hearing this, make sure that you're spending at least 1 or 2, 3 hours a day on yourself. You know, if it's not yourself, at least get yourself in a situation where you can better yourself, that you can have more freedom, have more time to do things that you actually want to do. If you don't have the time, make the time.
Right.
If you know, but, and I want to touch back on that statement that you just said. Some people want the big house, the nice cars, but they don't want to put in the work for it. You know, some people have to understand that there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of grinding, a lot of not eating because you're trying to, you know, save up money for X, Y, and Z. But that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do that for about 12 months than suffer for the rest of my life not knowing that I didn't do anything to get near my goals. I can't. You know, I can't do that. And I know I don't use the word can't, but I will use the word right now. I cannot do that shit.
He will not do that. That's what he was trying to find.
But see, the thing be like, people say they want the big house, people say they want the nice cars, but in reality they don't. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's just the reality of it. In reality, you don't want it because you know exactly what it takes, but you're not willing to do it. So you can't sit here in my face and tell me that you want to live in a $500,000 house, but you not willing to go through no sleepless night. You can't convince me of that. It's just like, it's like you saying, like, I don't want to drop the balls, but I'm going to juggle them motherfuckers. It's like it's like you risking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you can't convince me that you really be wanting something when you really not giving that energy. And that's why I say, like, it's not, I don't ask the question, what do you want in life? I ask the question, what are you willing to struggle for to have in life? Because you could say you want $1 million, but you're not willing to put in the field work to get it. So you could say you want it, but your actions saying that you don't. It's not aligning, you know what I'm saying? But that goes with the next excuse of people making the excuse of being too busy. Like, to say what I said in the last point is like, you make time for what you want to make time for. People spend so much time on the internet. People spend so much time on social media. People spend so much time partying, doing what they want to do. And then it's like, when it comes time to you, when it comes time to investing, like Caleb said, in 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours into yourself, it's like you don't have it. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you're not too busy. You just busy doing the shit that doesn't make sense.
Too busy doing nothing.
Exactly. So it's like, when you start putting your energy and when you start aligning your energy to the right shit, when it comes to your goals, you should never be too busy for that shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm on a mission in life. You get what I'm saying? I got shit I'm working for. If I got something that I'm working towards, if I got something that's in the process of making me a better me, I'm never gonna be too busy for it. I sit this party out, I sit this vacation out, I sit this day of workout, but at the end of the day, I got goals and shit I'm working for. So people, the excuse of being too busy, it's not that you too busy. The real reason you not doing it is because you really don't want to. Because if you wanted to, like, you gonna X something out of your schedule out to fit whatever you want to in that motherfucker.
You want to prioritize.
Exactly. And so it's just like, bro, you not that busy.
Nah.
And what you saying, I'm too busy. Okay. All movement is not production.
Right.
So if you just move and just be moving, what you producing?
Shit.
Nothing. So by you saying you too busy, what are you too busy doing?
Right.
Help me understand.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you moving, that's just like if you get in your car right now and let's just say for instance, you just driving. Where you driving to?
Nowhere.
The car moving.
Yeah. Driving the
So the
drive.
car busy.
Right.
But where are you actually going to?
Right.
So you got to put that analogy into you. Like, if you're going to do something, be busy making some type of progress instead of just be busy just going around in a circle and around and around. Like Caleb had said, in a hula hoop.
Right.
It's just going to keep coming back around until you actually change the direction. Right. Once you change your direction, then you start getting better results. But if you keep telling yourself you're too busy, you just basically just talking yourself out of something.
Right.
Out of something that you possibly know that you can do or that you have some type of potential to get done. But don't find yourself saying you too busy, because you're never too busy. Like I said, like we said, you always make time for what you want to make time for.
Right.
Yeah.
So by you saying you busy, get busy with what you know you need to be getting busy with.
And some people use the "I'm too busy" excuse as like they really don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when you say like, have you done anything that's gonna relate to your goals or like gonna get you closer to your goal? Oh, I'm too busy for that. You don't really want it. You don't really want your goals. You're too comfortable doing what you're doing. That's why you're too busy, because you're too comfortable in your comfort zone. You don't want to get out your comfort zone. You're too busy following the same routine, following the same bullshit, and probably gonna get the same results because you don't want any better. You don't want to do better. And some people are really scared of the success that comes behind it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you actually do reach your goals? I can't ever be scared of whatever I want and whatever I'm expecting. So another excuse that we must avoid is it takes too long to build a business. Now, you and I both know it does not take too long to build a business. I can build a business right after this episode if I wanted to. Right. It's all about what you want to do. It's all about your perspective and how you view things. If you go into life or go into anything expecting the worst, what you're going to get?
The worst.
Exactly. So I think that's just another form of people just saying like, I don't want it. When you look at it from that perspective, anybody, you really just got to change it up. Like, you can start anything. You can, like, you have some people that start business in their own home. You don't need a store. All you need is just social media, Instagram, Facebook, and just start getting yourself out there. But when you expect the worst and you start to look at any negative situation you go in, that's all you're going to receive. And nothing's going to go your way. Your business is going to fail. It's not going to go anywhere because now you're saying, oh, it takes too long to start a business, or, oh, I don't know enough people, or I don't have any money to get started. Just get started. Run with it. Start the social. Just get yourself out there. When you have goals and you expect your goals and you expect nothing but your goals, you're going to get that shit regardless. As long as you stay consistent and you believe in yourself, you're going to give off that energy, and you're going to attract people that want to do business with you, that want to spend money with you, that want to help your business grow. So long story short, don't go into anything expecting the worst. You always got to know. And that's the whole thing is, sometimes you may not see it, or it may not be possible, or you may not think it's possible because of the current situation that you're in. But as long as you stay consistent and you believe and you know that it's going to happen, you're going to attract the right people. You're going to attract people that's going to help you be in a better position. You're going to attract people that can potentially help you get a store or get more followers or get more supporters or get more customers. It's all about what you think. It's all about what you give out.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to the people that make the excuse of it takes too long to build a business, like, you got to understand whether you spend the time building a business or whether you spend the time doing shit, the time gonna go by. Like, time is not stopping for you. Time is not waiting for you. So at the end of the day, when it comes to your time passing, you got to use your time wisely. You get what I'm saying? If you make the excuse of it take too long to build a business, you got to also think about what else it'll take too long to do. You know what I'm saying? It'll take too long to let 5 years. It's too long to let 5 years just go by me doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather spend 5 years like coming up with a business and like giving that shit my all into it being successful, and then just let 5 years go by me doing bullshit. When it comes to that, like, if it takes too long to build a business, what the fuck else is you gonna do? Like, that's the question you gotta ask. And if your answer is like nothing, then spend your time building that business, regardless how long it takes.
If it takes too long to build a business, find a way that you can make a business in a couple months or a couple weeks or a couple days. You know what I'm saying? Find the other route. Don't look at the negative side. And that was the whole point of my conversation, is don't look at the negative side of things. Don't look at don't pinpoint the negative side. You really just got to focus on what you want to do and how you're going to carry it out.
Right.
And I think a lot of people just struggle with the end result. Like, it's not even so much about starting a business. or building it is they looking at the time aspect. Okay, at the end of the day, just like Ken said, 5 years gonna pass regardless.
Right.
2 years gonna pass regardless. A year gonna pass regardless. But what are you doing in between time? You have to experience something, because if you keep experiencing what you've been experiencing, guess what? You're going to keep getting exactly what you've been getting. Right. So you have to be able to venture out and do something else new. And if you don't do it, then, I mean, you ain't going to make no progress in what you could have or the success that you could obtain. Right. So if you keep bumping your head on the same ledge, guess what? You're going to start to get a knot after a while. And once you start to get that knot, guess what? You'll start to get angry. And once you get angry, you'll start to make a change. Right. That's how it always works. But don't find yourself keep hitting your head on the same thing. Just get started. Don't worry about the time. Just go through the process.
Don't force yourself to be mad. Mad as in make a decision. Mad as in make a decision. Just make a decision now. Be mad now. We trying to get y'all to be mad now. Don't be mad because you keep knocking your head. Get mad now. Okay?
And another thing that I know that a lot of people say is I'm just afraid to do it because it's too risky. I really want you to understand this. Everything that you do comes with a risk. When you first came out into the world, guess what? It was a risk.
Yeah.
When you first learned how to walk, guess what? It was a risk. When you first learned how to drive, guess what? It was a risk. Everything that you do in this world is risky. And it's another thing I want to touch on. So if you eating all the bad things, guess what? It might be a risk to your health. Mm-hmm. And you know what's another thing that's risky? What's sleeping. That? A lot of people die in their sleep. Yeah. It's a risk to go to sleep. But you still go to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. You still got to eat, right? Mm-hmm. You walking right now, right? You driving a car. Mm-hmm. So everything that you do has a risk. It's about what type of mindset do you really have on the risk. And with me, I'm all in. Right. Whatever I do or whatever I say I'm going to do, I'm all in no matter what the risk is, because the risk comes with me learning something new. Mm-hmm. I don't never take L's. The only L I take is learning. Right. It's either you winning or you learning. Them two processes of life. You either winning or you learning. You can win and get a pullback, and then it could be a learning experience. And once you learn, now you back winning. So those are 2 stages of life. So don't never find yourself saying you're afraid of something because it's too risky, because life is risky anyway. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to risk everything for life. Yeah. Because one thing I can tell you about life, you can't get out of it alive. Mm-hmm. Name somebody who have. You can't get out of life alive, so take that risk. And then especially take that risk on your future and what you say you want.
My thing be like, some of the excuses people make just like be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just be proof that people don't think about the shit that they say. You know what I'm saying? Like, the excuse of you don't want to do it because it's too risky for me, risk make me excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna try to fuck out this shit, see how this shit go. If this shit don't work, I'm just finna try some other shit. But at least I tried this shit and had the experience of it not working. At least
he tried.
Right.
The most guaranteed way for you to fail is not even trying.
Not trying at all. Exactly. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like when you don't take risks, if you don't take risks, you doing the ordinary. And if you doing the ordinary, it's like your life is like great. Ain't no color to the motherfucker. It's just boring as hell. Yeah. But it's like when you take risk and you like do this shit and do that and you try this and like that shit make life exciting. Like that shit make life like worth living. But you just like just an ordinary ass motherfucker living an ordinary ass life. Like that shit just boring as hell.
Boring as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But you like y'all said it good. Like you really have to take risk in life to know what's gonna work for you. Some risks you may have to take a lesson from, and you might have to go a different route. But at the end of the day, at least you took that risk. At least you got out your comfort zone and you got out there to try and experience something different, experiencing something that you never did before. And even if you took a risk and it didn't work out in your favor, you still learned, you still gained something from it. You still became a better person, because now the next risk that you take, you might use the same principles to avoid taking another lesson. You know what I'm saying? Because you already learned the lesson. You already know what you need to do to be successful this go around. So I just feel like, you got to take a risk. You got to. And a lot of people complain. A lot of those people are the people that complain about their lives.
Complain and hate.
Or the people that don't take no risk at all. Right. So it's just like, how can you expect something in life or more in life when you don't even take risk? when you don't change the certain situation that you're in, when you don't do something that's gonna put you in a better position, you can't complain about something if you haven't done anything different to get yourself out of that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just pure crazy.
And one thing that I do know with everything that we said in this episode, you got to stop avoiding the excuses in your life, because it's like I just told you, you either going to make an excuse or you're going to make some type of progress. You cannot have both. And excuses, guess what? The excuses that you're telling yourself, they're valid. As long as you accept it, it's valid. It's valid in your life, and that's the reason why your life gonna be at a standstill. And versus you moving forward, you actually moving back. So stop making excuses, and then especially in the year 2022, because some fact that you need to be moving forward. This is the year of you pushing forward versus then holding yourself back. Because everybody have greatness in them. It's just about how great you actually want to be. But hopefully we added some type of value to your mind so you can go out there and check your thoughts. Follow us on Instagram at The Mind Report, and also stream us however you want at www.themindreportpodcast.com. It's your boy DT.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Ken.
And we are The Mind Report, and we are out.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure you share it with someone else.
And be on the lookout for new episodes. And make sure you subscribe now.
This is The Mind Report.
And we are out.